I would say at 27, a hardworking, honest man cannot even compete with the attention that you can get from the volume of men on social media. However, fast forward 20 years, at 47, you would give a limb to have an honest, hardworking man who dedicated his life to you instead of the volume of men who would give you momentary attention online.
These strong, independent women are always complaining about how there are no good men. And then you look at them and assess the life they live. These women act like men. They don't let any man be a man around them. They're aggressive and loud and angry, disrespectful, rude. And when any man comes into their life, they're completely turned off and they leave them. And then these women continue on in their lives with their single girlfriends lying to them, telling them, oh, you're just too independent. You're intimidating the men. No, you're rude and you're turning every man off. That's the reality.
A masculine man that looks after you, absolutely. But men, their love language is acts of service. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you want it or not. Their way of receiving love is you cooking for me, you ironing that shirt, you making my work has to stop when I come in the house, if you want a traditional man. If you want a CEO, the moment he wakes up, he's working. Brain is going da 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 da, and at the moment he leaves the house, it's da 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 da. So when he comes home, his job has to stop. Just like a feminine man would make him less attractive to me. If I came home and my man was just like painting his nails and doing his hair, am I going to want to sleep with him?
Yeah.
Same thing happens when you come home and your wife's on her phone the whole day and there's food, like no one's cooked anything. You know, so it's that kind of stuff.
I love you. I want to be with you. But it's just female nature that we just need to give ourselves to like the strongest male. And I see him over there and I just have to give myself to him. I cannot help it, but I only love you. But babe, you have to understand it's biology that I'm seeing him, and he's obviously the alpha. He's like the strongest, right? So I love you. I only love one man, right? I love you, but I have to give myself to him. I don't have a choice. You just have to understand that. Why are you trying to fight biology? Don't be insecure. It's just the way it is. Now send that to the guy who always tells you that, you know, men need to sow their seed and they're the hunter and they want to be with all the women because it's just their biology. You're welcome.
For women, having multiple sexual partners is really bad for your mental health. It messes up your hormones biologically. And also, like, even if you're not technically sleeping with all of them, what kind of person are you if you're just an object on millions of people's screens and all that object is your boobs and bum? They're not really seeing you for who you are. And if you don't care about who you are enough to put that out there and all you want to put out there is your body, then I think that shows that maybe there's something not quite right inside that maybe you don't value in yourself, so you only value the exterior part of yourself.
The younger generation, the problem they're having is that the younger girls don't give a fuck.
You
trying these old traditional rules on these, because a lot of these memes and videos are created for the newer generation. We're of a little bit older generation. If anybody in this room's in my age,
we can say we old now.
Okay, so we're a little bit up there. So a lot of these rules are now applicable to a younger generation of girls who get walked like dolls on TV, who every picture is a pussy shot. They can fuck 10 niggas and still have the confidence of a woman who's never fucked anybody at all.
Hey, that's a very valid point.
You heard Tyler last week. We don't care about any of that.
Exactly.
We don't care.
And there's nothing you're gonna. That's why it's very important to get with somebody who's like that. And there's men that don't. There's men like, baby, you could have fucked 100. You could be a porn star. That could be your job. And you know what? I'm gonna love you in spite of. So you just instead go find those partners, because these newer girls, my little cousins, my younger family members, and all, they don't give a fuck about how a man thought he felt when he thought he felt it. I'm of a generation where I still care. I'm like, no, I don't want nobody to think I'm out here like that. I don't need nobody like think I'm if I'm single, I'm not doing this. Because we come from a generation where it was stigmatized that if you were like this, then you were considered to be this type of person. Now they're not considered to be those type of. Hoe is not a bad term for younger women.
It's
That is not a bad term for them.
Why is it when a woman doesn't have a man, she often has to take on a masculine role, but when a man doesn't have a woman, he doesn't necessarily have to take on a feminine role?
Ooh.
That's too good a question for me to answer personally.
Well, wouldn't that prove that masculinity is more essential for survival than femininity?
Ooh. I had never thought about that, so it's alright.
And if that's true, why is masculinity seen as toxic?
Masculinity is vital for society to continue existing.
A lot of you ladies will go to hell and back for the wrong man, but even the thought of giving submissive energy to a good man is like cringeworthy to y'all. And the select women who are happily submissive always seem to be ostracized by friends, family, and women looking in from the outside. Secretly, they hate to see a happy, cohesive relationship because they've never been taught it themselves. A lot of y'all can't submit because you're too damn selfish to surrender, period. Y'all will yield to your boss, your pastor, your father, etc., but then put up a damn fight when it comes to yielding to your man. And the ironic part is it takes an extremely strong woman to submit, to put her ego to the side and understand and realize that it's not all about her.
What's really crazy is the CDC just put out a study a few weeks ago. We can argue about the CDC later in the chat, just forewarning for that.
Yeah.
But teenage girls right now, more than ever before, are starting to struggle more than teenage boys in modern America, particularly with mental health. So teenage girls are starting to see higher levels of anxiety, higher levels of depression, and in 2021, 1 in 3 teenage girls seriously considered unaliving themselves because of the culture that we've created right now, which is so ironic, right? Like, wouldn't you think that this culture that's all about women doing whatever they want and women having any pathway to success that they want to embrace, we say that we live in this world, and at the same time, the next generation of women, Gen Z women, are so unbelievably miserable and unhappy and discontent in today's society that they don't even want to be here.
I want a man, like I need a man in my life.
I like to even hear that.
I love that.
We need more women saying that, for real.
And women are crazy for saying, I don't need a man, I'm independent, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't need to be independent. I want to be taken care of in any ways. I don't know why they would say I don't need a man. I need one.
I don't even know why they would think men would find that attractive.
Janelva, if a guy's not protective of you, he doesn't like you that much. What do you mean? Necessarily. I know if a guy's men are territorial. They release a hormone during sex that makes them territorial of the women that they sleep with. If he's not protective of you at all, he doesn't like you that much.
I mean, my recommendation to men is just don't be in a serious relationship with a woman who doesn't realize the importance of limiting their own behavior to protect the relationship. I don't know, if you respect your partner, you don't engage in activities essentially designed for single people.
You know, it baffles me the amount of women that are like, I would never let my husband tell me what to do. I'm not his child. And these same women, they'll go to work. Their boss says, hey, I need you to turn this in by 5 p.m. They say, yes, sir. The HR manager says, hey, I need you to stop saying this to your employees. They say, okay. The trash man says, I need you to put your trash cans beside the road on Wednesday mornings. They say, okay, and they do it. The speed limit sign says, don't go past 65. Guess what? They don't go past 65. The nurse says, hey, you have this condition. I need you to take this medicine. They say, okay. Their single friend will say, girl, you don't need to do this for your husband. You need to tell him this, this, and this. And they say, I can trust you. You're the expert. Literally everybody else in the world will tell them, jump, and they say how high, and they do it. But when your husband, who has a covenant with God to protect and provide for you, tells you, hey, I don't think you should do this. Yes, you should do this. No, you should not do this. It's a problem and you're oppressed.